Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst team. I'm Ditmini De Silva. Let's take a look at your headlines.
Train derails in Habarana after colliding with wild elephants. Monorail SSP interdicted for cannabis possession. Fitch downgrades 10 Sri Lankan banks' ratings. Sri Lanka to reduce the size of its army. Former Minister Reginald Courier passed away. Rural village in Convener gets a new bridge from Convener. Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis, dies aged 54.
Will elections be held before the 10th of March 2023? 57 days more.
The Election Commission has told the Supreme Court that the election will go ahead as planned. The National Election Commission on Friday informed the Supreme Court that the local government election will go ahead as planned. The Election Commission informed the Supreme Court about this matter when a petition filed by retired Sri Lanka Army Colonel W.M.R. Vijayasundara was taken up on Friday. Retired Sri Lanka Army Colonel W.M.R. Vijayasundara had filed an application with the Supreme Court seeking a writ order invalidating the preparations that are being made for the local government election. The matter was taken up in the presence of Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya, Justice Esture Raja and Janak De Silva. President's Counsel Salia Piris, appearing for the National Election Commission, informed the Supreme Court that the local government election will go ahead as planned. A junior counsel appearing for the petitioner informed the court that several amendments are to be made to the application. President's Counsel Romesh De Silva requested the court to call for the petition on the 18th of January, noting that another petition related to the matter is to be filed on that day. Accordingly, the petition will be called up on the 18th of January 2023. The Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration and Home Affairs, Neil Bandara Hapuhina, has been summoned to the Election Commission.
The chairman of the Elections Commission, Attorney Nimal Punchiheva, said the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration and Home Affairs, Neil Bandara Hapuhina, has been summoned to the Elections Commission on Friday the 13th with regard to a letter he issued to all district secretaries. The letter in question ordered all district secretaries to refrain from accepting bonds for the local government elections. Hapuhina later withdrew the letter. Parliamentarian
Channa Jayasumana says the Freedom People's Alliance will never join with the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna.
All progressive movements that follow the middle path and are in love with the country have rallied around the symbol of the helicopter. We believe that the people who were with the SLPP in the grassroots have started to join with us. We believe that our alliance will become a strong political force. I can clearly state that it will never happen. When our alliance was formed, one of the main agreements among the groups was that no one will join the SLPP under any circumstance. We do not have any links with them and we have no intention of landing the helicopter in Madamulana.
Political parties and groups placed bonds for the local government election today as well. The Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna placed their bonds for the Ratnapura and Kegol districts. SLPP General Secretary Sagara Karyawasam and several other members were also present to place the bonds. Sri Lanka has been given 6 more months to repay Bangladesh's $200 million loan. Bangladesh Bank on Thursday granted Sri Lanka 6 more months to repay the $200 million loan after the island nation requested to extend the repayment period due to its prolonged economic crisis. A senior official of the central bank, on condition of anonymity, said the board of directors of Bangladesh Bank has extended the repayment tenure. The island nation, which has been facing an acute greenback shortage for months, borrowed $200 million from Bangladesh in May 2021. The country was scheduled to repay the loans by April last year, but it failed to do so. In April last year, Sri Lanka announced defaulting on its entire $51 billion of external debt. As per the agreement between the two countries, Sri Lanka was supposed to repay the loan by March. But the island nation is still facing an acute shortage of foreign exchange reserves, which has compelled it to request the Bangladesh Bank to extend the repayment period. Bangladesh Bank has extended the deadline at a time when its foreign exchange reserves are depleting at a faster pace. As per the new deadline, Sri Lanka will have to repay the loan by September this year. These are some of the views expressed by leader of the JVP, Anurakumara Disanayaka.
ආණ්ඩුව තිගින් දිගටම උත්සාහ කරනවා මේ පළාත් පාලන මැතිවරණ කල් දාන්න. දැන් අද එළඹෙන පාර්ලිමේන්තු සතිය සඳහා පක්ෂ නායක රැස්වීමේ සාකච්ඡාවේ
The government is repeatedly making attempts to postpone the local government elections. Following the party leaders' meeting, an agenda for the upcoming parliamentary session was prepared. The agenda from the government for this was to present a bill on the 18th to reduce the expenses of the election. So we inquired about this from the leader of the House. There could be conflicts between the existing legislation and the new bill at times, when the timelines for an election has already been finalized. Also, certain orders needs to be prepared in order to limit expenses, which will take some time. So attempts to change laws when the election is finalized is illegitimate. The leader of the House agreed to move the bill, which was presented on the 18th to the 19th. He also agreed to provide interim laws for this bill, stating that this bill will not be applicable for elections that have already been announced. If not, he agreed to postpone this bill at the parliamentary committee stage.
18 වෙනිදා මැතිවරණ නිවියදම් සීමා කිරීමේ පනත 19 වෙනිදාට කල් කරා. ඒ වගේම එතුමා එකඟතාවයක් පළ කරා මේ පනතට අන්තර්කාලීන විධිවිධානයක් ගේන්න මෙම පනත ප්‍රකාශයට පත්කොට තිබෙන මැතිවරණට අදාළ නොවෙනවා කියලා අන්තර්කාලීන විධිවිධානයක්.
Fitch Ratings had downgraded the bank ratings of 10 Sri Lankan banks. Fitch Ratings has downgraded the national long-term ratings of 10 Sri Lankan banks following the recent sovereign downgrade and recalibration of the agency's Sri Lankan national rating scale. The recalibration is to reflect changes in the relative creditworthiness among Sri Lankan issuers following Fitch's downgrade of Sri Lanka's long-term local currency issuer default rating to CC from CCC under criteria observation on the 1st of December 2022. Fitch typically does not assign outlooks or apply modifiers to sovereigns with a rating of CCC plus or below. National scale ratings are a risk ranking of issuers in a particular market designed to help local investors differentiate risk. The national ratings of the Sri Lankan banks consider their creditworthiness relative to other issuers in the country. It was revealed at the Committee on Public Finance that the preparation of a transparent register of welfare beneficiaries was further delayed due to the trade union actions of the officials.
It was revealed at the Committee on Public Finance held recently that a problematic situation has arisen due to the refusal of some of the officials to collect data to prepare a social welfare register, identifying those who deserve benefits with transparency. This was revealed in orders of the Extraordinary Gazette number 2302/23, published under the Welfare Benefits Act number 24 of 2002, were taken into consideration at the Committee of Public Finance. According to the chairman of the Welfare Benefits Board, B. Vijayaratna, trade unions of the Samurdhi Department officers, Gram Niladaris and Economic Development officers have informed that they would not carry out on the next phase of this program until measures are taken to amend Section 21 and Section 22 of the Welfare Benefit Act, as even their employment could be lost in the event if the applicants would not reveal their information truly and correctly at the enumeration.
CEB Joint Trade Union Alliance stressed that the general public are severely inconvenienced by the electricity tariff hike.
අපි අදත් ඉන්න ස්ථාවර තමයි මේ විදුලි බිල ජනතාවෙන් වැඩි කරන්න එපා කියන. අපි දන්නා 120.
We continue to maintain the position that the electricity tariff should not be increased. The 1,500 rupee fixed rate has been increased to 2,000. That means a household that had an electricity bill of 350 rupees will now get over 1,300 rupees. The minimum electricity bill will be around 3,000 rupees after taxes. Those who are trying to justify this tariff hike have passed the ball to the PUCSL. The PUCSL has noted that they will not allow for the tariff hike to take place. Eventually, all these three parties will get together and increase the electricity tariff. Our stance is that we will never let them increase the electricity tariff. The Kalanithisa power plant can only operate till midnight today. After 12, there will be no naphtha. The CEB does not have funds to purchase naphtha. This is a dangerous situation and we call on politicians to resign from their positions.
දුවන්න පුළුවන්. අද 12න් පස්සේ නැප්තා නැහැ. නැප්තා මිලදී ගන්න ලංකාව විදුලි මුදල් නැහැ. මේක ඉතාමත් භයානක තත්ත්වයක්. ඒ නිසා අපි මේ පාලකයින්ට කියනවා උඹලා කරුණාකරලා ලට්ට ලොට්ට අකුණට මෙරටින් ඵලයල්ල.
One wild elephant was killed after it was knocked down by a speeding train in Hatharas Kotuwa Habarana on Friday morning. Sri Lanka Railways said another 2 wild elephants were injured in the accident. Sri Lanka Railways said that operations along the Batticaloa route were delayed due to the derailment. Sri Lanka Railways said that a train operating from Batticaloa to Colombo knocked down wild elephants at the 138th railway mile post at 5 a.m. on Friday. The wild elephants were knocked down by the Pulatisi Express train operating from Batticaloa to Colombo. The engine of the train had derailed following the collision and serious damages were caused to the tracks. Newsfirst correspondent said that Sri Lanka police took measures to deploy buses for the passengers who were left stranded. No passenger was injured in the incident. Sri Lanka police interdicted Monoragala SSP Sisila Kumara, who was arrested for the possession of cannabis. Sri Lanka police said that Monoragala SSP Sisila Kumara was interdicted with the approval of the National Police Commission. Recently, the Police Special Task Force recovered 20.5 kilograms of cannabis hidden inside the ceiling of the SSP's official residence. The SSP, his driver and 4 others were arrested by the Police Special Task Force following the incident. In addition, the Criminal Investigation Department arrested the OIC of Etimale for providing the Monoragal SSP with the cannabis that was seized. Venerable Galvava Siridamathero, the convener of the Inter-University Biko Federation, was ordered to report to the TID on Saturday to provide a statement. The Colombo Magistrates Court ordered Venerable Galvava Siridamathero to report to the Terrorist Investigations Division on Saturday and provide a statement. Former Sri Lankan
I was ordered to be present in court today based on a complaint made by the Terrorist Investigation Division. The court ordered me to report to the TID on Saturday to record a statement. We were engaged in the Aragalaya before. We were arrested in relation to the Aragalaya and the TID held us for 90 days and then remanded us. We see a situation where statements are being recorded again. Comrade Vasantha continues to remain in remand custody. This is the situation.
Former Sri Lankan Minister and former Provincial Governor Reginald Courier has passed away at the age of 74. He had passed away after suddenly falling ill during a political meeting. Reginald Courier, the former governor of the Western Province and the Kalutara district leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, had suddenly fallen ill during a political meeting in Pinwatta Vaduwa. Newsfirst correspondent said the event was held to select candidates for the local government election and he had suffered a heart attack during the event. He was admitted to hospital and then moved to the Kalutara Teaching Hospital for treatment on Thursday night, and the family said he passed away early on Friday morning. The people of Ambalawatta in Mahayangana used their lives at risk to cross a waterway in order to reach the closest town. For For many generations, politicians had promised to build a bridge. However, no bridge was constructed. The villagers told their plight to Gammadda, and an immediate project was launched to build a bridge for the people of Ambalawatta.
Ambalawatta is a village located in one of the most scenic environments in Vewatta Mahiyanganaya in the Batula district. Unfortunately, the lives of these people are not as beautiful as their natural surroundings. In order to reach the closest town, the villagers must brave across the Unagahala Oya, which turns into a rapid during a downpour. Villagers had placed several planks and logs across this waterway as a makeshift bridge. However, when it rains hard, this bridge becomes a death trap due to the gushing waters of the overflowing Unagahala Oya.
Here's a look at more news in brief. The Defence Ministry on Friday said that the current Sri Lanka Army strength of 200,783 personnel will be reduced to 135,000 by 2024. Quoting State Defence Minister Premita Bandara Thennakoon, the Defence Ministry said that the Army strength will be set at 100,000 by 2030. It added that the overall aim of the strategic blueprint is to raise a technically and tactically sound and well-balanced defence force by the year 2030 in order to meet the upcoming security challenges on par with the national security dimensions of the country. Here's a look at news in brief.
A book penned by Colonel MBB Nalin Hayward titled Story of the World was launched in Colombo. State Defence Minister Premita Bandara Thennakoon and Defence Secretary Retired General Kamal Gunaratne were present for this event. Lanka Private Limited had organised a workshop for the plumbers who are members of the Ambalantara Plumbers Association. Plumbers and related industry personnel from the Hambantota district were present for the event.
Lisa Marie Presley, a musician and the only child of rock and roll legend Elvis Presley, has died at the age of 54. Priscilla Presley, the mother of Lisa Marie, said in a statement Thursday evening, quote, "It is with a heavy heart that I must share the devastating news that my beautiful daughter Lisa Marie has left us. She was the most passionate, strong and loving woman I have ever known." Unquote. The announcement came just hours after Priscilla Presley had confirmed that Lisa Marie Presley had been rushed to hospital in Los Angeles, United States. US President Biden signed into law the historic Justice for Victims of War Crimes Act. Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice of the US State Department, Beth Van Schaak, says President Biden signed into law the historic Justice for Victims of War Crimes Act, giving the Department of Justice jurisdiction to prosecute persons present in the US for war crimes committed anywhere, regardless of the nationality of alleged perpetrator or victim. Taking to Twitter, the ambassador added that this law, passed with strong bipartisan support, better aligns the US with our allies and the Geneva Conventions and gives the Department of Justice the ability to try Russians responsible for war crimes in Ukraine should they come to the US. A group of 46 lawmakers in the United States House of Representatives have called on the administration of President Joe Biden to revoke any US visa held by former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro in the wake of Sunday's attack on Brazil's capital. According to foreign media, on Thursday, the legislators, all Democrats, also petitioned Biden to investigate any US-based instigators who might have played a role in the attack. The move comes after thousands of Bolsonaro supporters stormed government buildings in Brasilia over the weekend, ransacking the Supreme Court building, attacking police, and vandalizing parts of the National Congress and the Planalto Presidential Palace. Bolsonaro was in the US as the assault unfolded. That's a wrap of your lunchtime news. Thank you for watching.